Okay, hello everyone. A couple of the announcements before we get into the class. By the way, this class is the last class before your midterm exam. Your midterm exam is scheduled on Monday, October 21st from 7 p.m. to 8:30. So 90 minutes the exam. The exam will be planned for I think about 1 hour exam, but I will give you 90 minutes at most. So 90 minutes sharp. That is a synchronous online exam, so you have to join Zoom. Then I can give you the password to get into the midterm exam, and you have to keep turning on the camera while you are taking your Zoom meetings, the midterm exam. And your midterm exam, your the images of a proctor will be recorded and will be kept just in case. All exams consist of both theory and hands-on. For hands-on, if you do not understand but try to use the computer while you are taking your midterm exam, you may not have enough time. So don't plan to do that. I strongly do not recommend you to use a computer. You have to understand the concept and the data flow rather than rely on your computer reactions. So computer, if you rely on computer, you may not have enough time. Again, 60 minutes exam at most 90 minutes. It covers everything that we covered in the class so far, from the beginning till today, okay? So types of questions are multiple choice, true false type, and short answer. Okay. I may take your questions if you have this coming Saturday. I already posted the Zoom meetings. Saturday in the morning, 8:45. I may take about 30 minutes or 45 minutes at longest. So I can take the questions from you. If you have any questions, mechanical, technical questions are welcomed so that I can make it clear. Okay, so please join me this Zoom meetings. Okay. So today is to cover the functions. So we will look at how to define functions, how to invoke. Types of functions available in Pythons. First of all, built-in functions. And then secondly, the function that we can define, so-called user-defined functions. Okay. So these built-in functions, you may recall print, input, integer. This type of functions can be used standalone. So we call that standalone built-in functions. Some of the functions can go with on objects. So we call that built-in methods. If we distinguish clearly the difference between the function and methods, then the methods, not all the functions are method. Only the functions that are associated with an object, then we call that methods. Okay, so an object has static behavior, static aspects and behavioral aspects. So behavioral aspects design the methods, how behaviors can be formed. That is called the methods. So for example, formats. So format should go with an object and dot in between the objects and methods. So string is an object and format is a method. In broad scope, we call this the method also a function. The other thing is split. Split goes with string, any string objects. Remember that if we have, for example, documents, and if we want to split the word by word, then we simply do split, open, and immediately close the parenthesis. Then that removes all, that splits the sentence based upon white spaces. Strip functions, methods, if we have a white space, but not a single white space, but multiple white spaces, there's a possible sometimes, right? When you say hello, Dr. Yoon, then hello, comma, and multiple white spaces, and at the end you may say Dr. Yoon. Then in grammar or in for the purpose of the string manipulation, you may not need multiple white space. Then you need to strip it. You need to, if you want to remove all the white spaces, unnecessarily placed white spaces, then you can use strip. Of course, in that case, when you say strip, then you can remove any white spaces before the word and after. If you want to remove it before only, then you can say left strips or right strips. These are all the built-in functions. You do not need to define because they are already defined. But on the other hand, in many cases in your application developments, you need to define the methods, functions, right? We call that user-defined functions. Actually, when we are considering functions, two things that we have to consider. We need to define it first, and then invoke, okay? So defining functions. What is function? Function is some module. It takes input and do some actions in the body of that function, and then return the outputs. That is generally a function. Some functions you may define, hey, I want to receive two parameters, A and B, two parameters. Then when you invoke this function, then you need to send those two values to these functions. Then implementation of this function takes those two values and some of the computation inside, and it may return C. Then output is C. This type of scenario can be defined and can be invoked. Once we define a function, then you may invoke the very same function multiple times. This is a one code block. Then you can invoke this function by passing arguments A and B. Then this function returns C. So somewhere here in your code blocks, you need to invoke this. Then the logistics of these functions is when it comes to this function invocation and go to that functions and come and wait until that function returns. So when the value returns, then it keeps going within this code block. This type of invocation code block can be available multiple times. So for one definition of functions, there may be multiple invocation. So these all, whatever the statements here, if it is invocation, then we call that caller function. Caller function. The function definition itself is called the called function. So caller and called functions. Okay. You can, those who are familiar with the mathematical functions, then you can start from the features of mathematical functions to programming. This is typical functions, right? Y equals this type of, this is the function. You may generalize these functions using some of the parameters. So x is the parameter, x squared plus 2 times x minus 5. Depending upon this x, you may have this expression, first expression. If x is 2, then if x is 3, then first the function here. If x is 2, then that'll be the second function. If x is negative 2, then that'll be the third functions. Likely here, first and second and third here, right? This is the thing that we want to implement in our programming. You may have a multiple of these function instances available. Then you need to define one definition like this. This is a called function, right? For these multiple instances, you may say, hey, I want to invoke. So I have a caller. I have a multiple different caller. Callers, right? So argument to 3, then accordingly the called function is performed. For argument to 2, then accordingly this type of the function can be performed, so on and so forth. So function calls, this is definitions, right? That can be activated if we call. So if we call the caller function, then that is activated and the result will be returned. This caller call this function to be performed, and what it is designed to return, that returned value will be returned to the caller function. So what is a function or what is methods? That is, we need to define it, right? We first define and then we call. Invoking functions. Consider a temperature converter. Let's say from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Then this is the formula. I'm not going to the details of this formula, but some of you may know what it is already, right? So the x is the given the Fahrenheit functions, Fahrenheit parameter, Fahrenheit temperature. So given Fahrenheit temperature, I need to compute, and the result will be assigned to left side, right? So in coding, this formula is exactly the same here, right? So F is the parameter for the Fahrenheit temperature. The result of this computation will be assigned to the left-hand side. So this is Celsius temperature. The Celsius temperature can be returned. So what it does here is that define a function which takes F, right, Fahrenheit, and returns C for Celsius. So in real codings, we can say, hey, input, enter temperature in Fahrenheit. Then user entered value. The value in string is assigned to this variable, u input. But because this is a string, we need to call the built-in function, standalone built-in function, int. Then this guy returns the integer value. That integer value is assigned to the variable f. This f can be used in this computation. So we need to compute this, and then result will be assigned to C, and that C will be written here, right? So so color here. So we define here. This is a input is F, return C. This is the computation implementation, and this is the color side. So we call this function to the definition of that function, and the computation is performed, and the return value is returned back to the caller. So that's what it is. So how does it work in Python? We define it and calling. Defining a function. I don't know. It's not really. Yeah, defining a function. So let's define a grading. Grading takes parameter points. Take the points. If a point is greater than 93, if this is a condition, and colon, the body of this condition is L grade. So letter grade equals A. If the point is greater than 93, then letter grade A. If it is not, elif, still the points is greater than 90. So all the points greater than 93 covered by this condition, right? And next, if points is greater than 90, which means greater than 90 and less than or equal to 93. Why? Because greater than 93 is already taken care of here, right here. So at this branching statement, we consider the points is greater than 90, which means greater than 90 and less than equal to 93. If it is the case, then a minus 1. Continue. Other than above these two, but if points is still greater than 85, then it means greater than 85, but less than or equal to 90, because all above already taken care of the conditions in the above two cases. So in this case, the letter grade is B plus. If it is not, elif, still if points is greater than 80, then letter grade is B. If it is anything above this, but points is greater than 75, then letter grade is C plus. We keep going and going, right? So can you send the points and I grade together? Can you send? You can do that, not to this grading function, but in general. Yes, you can send multiple values together. You can use list data type, or you can use tuple data types. Even you can use dictionary data types. That's possible. So given dictionary data types, here student dict equals a dictionary which contains the pairs of the key and value. Key is a student name, value is a student points. So Adam has 79, Sam has 88, Peter has 92, and so on and so forth. This is a dictionary. Given this dictionary, if I say Sam, then I can get the points, right? If I send these points to the function grading that we looked at already here, okay, whatever the points that is passed to this grading function, then it returns letter grade. Okay. Currently, the value is atomic value here. The values for the key is atomic value. Can we make a list value? Yes, we can. So not only 78, but if I want to do, let's say, oh, here Sam's case, because we put Sam's 88. If the value point is 88, then it falls into this case, right? 88 is not covered the above two cases, but here 88 is greater than 85, so the grade is B plus. So come back here, this is 88, grade is B plus. Then Sam, remember that when we want to update Sam, then we can do two ways that we can update, right? We can call this dictionary with the key, and then we assign the value to that key. There we can say 0.88 and the key grade B plus. Right? We can change this atomic value to the list of the points and the grade for each the keys in this dictionary. We could do that, right? That is what we want to do in the homework. I mean the hands-on labs. You see what I'm saying? Right? Let's say we have hundreds of the students in a dictionary, and we defined the function grading. Then we can simply call this function for each of this element in the dictionary, and then we can build up. Instead of this atomic value, we can plug, say, a list 88 comma B plus, or 79 comma maybe B or C plus, whatever that is. Okay, that is possible. Something like this: student dictionary. Then we have student dictionary. This the longer version, earlier version of the handling the dictionary, like for loop, for element in a dictionary. Then we need to take the key in the list. Therefore, we can use to the list. But the recent version of Python, we don't need to this. We can do this, or you can simply do stdic. This is also possible. We can use dictionary itself here. And then take the dictionary points. Take the points from each student and send that points to the function grading. Then function grading takes PTS as a parameter and perform the computation inside and return the value that is called the grade. Take the points and grade together in a square bracket, which is a list. So list will be the value to the key students. That's what it does here. Okay. So we will do the hands-on lab today. By the way, so your midterm covers up to this. Okay. Midterm exam covers up to these points. No further. Okay, this is it. So let's say this is it. Stop here. After your midterm, when you come back, then we will do more about the functions, so-called nested functions. And then function parameter can have 1 star as a prefix or 2 stars as a prefix. So we will look at what it is. This is very handy. This is a syntactic sugar. So we will look at this after come back. Okay, this is it. And let's go to, okay. The hands-on. So Python tutorial, functional statements. We have built-in functions and user-defined functions. Even in built-in functions, there are 2 kinds of functions, right? Standalone functions, or the functions are already defined, but it can be invoked together with on objects. So object.methods. User-defined functions, that's what we want to do today. Built-in functions, you may need to know, invoke them only. See the built-in functions, if you click this. So these are the built-in functions. So input, int, there are so many things that we may be interested in. Ask or bin binary functions, those are maybe used for the cybersecurity when we look at any suspicious messages, more likely. Dict for dictionaries, enumerate. This is a very good functions that you can use. So given a list of elements, if we want to consider the order of that elements, then you can do enumerate functions. This can be used also very much. Eval and exec, this type of functions is more like a systematic manipulation in Pythons that you can use. Float formats that you used a lot so far, right? Format can be a standalone, or it can be, format is a built-in function, but it can be used as a standalone, or it can be as a method, so it can be invoked with on objects. Hash, this is more like any for cybersecurity or computer science developers, code developers. If you want to do blockchain type of cryptography, then hash is needed. Hex, similarly. And then lang, if you have a list, then if you want to see the list of that list, if you see the size of a list, in other words, if you want to count the number of elements within given list, then you can simply say len. Then you can see all of those list that you know already. Map, that can be used to so many things. Next, objects, open. If you want to, by the way, we use this open function, right? This is a standalone function. Given a file, if you want to open the given file, then you need to first use open functions. If you want to manipulate data written in a file, the first thing that you have to do is to open the file, right? In that case, we open. Remember that we used this in the last class. POW, this is a power. Print. Zip, similar to map. Tuple, type. Sum, set, round. Range, this is also we used when we learned for loops. For I in range 5, then it gives you from 0 to 5, things like that. Anyway, those are the functions. Invoke at least 3 of those built-in functions. If you want to use, for example, built-in functions, one of those is print, right? This is called. So function print is called. So this is called, this is output. Right? One of the things, input. Right? Then it can give you an integer, number 1. Then what is number 1? Then type of given. And then value of given. What type of given? Just say number 3, then type is a string. User-defined functions, you need to do 2 things, define and invoke. So practice the following. Len, if you want to do, let's say, I want to comment this first and see how many elements in this string, then it gives me 6. If I do if I split this and list, then how many? Let's say len, how many? Only 2, right? This gives you 6, this gives you 2. So how to define? The syntax is this. You need to start with the def, followed by function name, followed by open parenthesis, followed inside open the parenthesis, you need to have parameters, multiple parameters. And then you have to implement that inside. This is the body of the function. At the end, if you want to return, then you need to return the values. Okay? Not all functions needs to return. Some functions may return. So define a function to count the number of characters in the sentence. So how to define? So this is, I already made here, right? So if I say, hey, define function, then the thing here is you need to split the count the characters, right? So split the sentence, then you will have a word list. So that is a word list. So in the word list, take each word, and then you take length, and then you add all the total the length. Then that'll be the functions. So this is a function body. I would say definition of a function. This is invocation of the function. So let's say if I want to take this out and place it here, I want to define. So that is defined. And if I want to invoke, then I want to invoke. So what it can give you is how many words? I have 5 words and 20 characters. Which one? This is the sentence. This is the given arguments. Hello, this is Dr. Yoon. How many words? Hello, this is Dr. Yoon. So 5 words. How many characters? Then we count characters, because we here split based upon the white space. So we don't really care about this white spaces, right? So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Do that. Maybe. Right. This is 20. Total 0. Length of each. Yeah. We can test, for example, length of Dr. Yoon. Then how many? 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? It counts all of those, including white space. Therefore, we split. By using this split, we count only the word, including punctuations, right? We can exclude the punctuations also. Let's say, well, by the way, that'll be, I think that is a good exercise. I think I have homework assignments somewhere here. Yeah, define character, define, yeah. But anyway, here. For this, if you want to extend this, and you count only the alphanumeric characters, but no punctuation, you can eliminate that, right? When you do here total functions, you can eliminate somewhere here if else functions. If you want to, you can do that. One more exercise for function definitions. Remember that we have a grading, right? So we have points is greater than 93, then we call it A grade, and so on and so forth, and we can invoke that using I mean, for each students points in the given dictionary. Then the value of the SAM, then you can get student dict, and then if you say SAM, then you can get that value, right? So make this whole, and if you, and then you need to do print. Then SAM's points is 88. And then grade that you need to put here, right? Function grade, I believe, grade, do I have grade? You need to have all the grades from there. So let's say if I want to get all of this, here somewhere, let's say copy. Oh, it doesn't do copy. Okay, so let's say this is done. Then we can call that function called grading, and we send the PTS, and then we can print grade and run. Oops, I need to. Then SAM's points is 88. 88 is B plus. So grade is B plus. Then we simply, what is the next? The update the value of SAM. Then we can put there as a PTS, points and grade together. Then it'll be SAM's grade, but I want to put here, rather than grade, if I want, oops, this is not done yet, right? Oh, we need to put here format SAM, so value is that, and then SAM's new value is nothing but std dict and SAM, right? So hit enter. Then SAM's new value is now combining the points and grade together within the square bracket. So this is a new value. So initially atomic values, but we can convert that to the list of points and letter grade together. We can do this for entire, or we already have here somewhere. If we want to do for entire here, then, by the way, this is one thing that you can update, right? This is method one that you can update. Another thing is that to do if you want to do update function, then you need to do, this guy, you need to use new dictionary with the key SAM and value with that list. You can make this. So instead of this first one, you can make the second one still the same as this, right? Remember that the dictionary updates. This is direct assigning. This is invoking a method, the method. That's what it is, right? This is direct assigning to this. This is invoking the method. This is a method associated with this object. If you want to do this for entire, then you need to use for each in student dictionary, and then this, and then you need to do I would do in this way: student dict each equals grading student dict each you need to do here. Okay, what does this is, I need to have here, right. I compressed this above a little bit, okay. I want to update by direct assigning. So to each, this is from the student dictionary. I need to update the student's dictionary by assigning within this the bracket. The first element in this list, the student's point itself, comma, whatever returning value from the function invocation grading. So I want to invoke grading. Grading function takes the parameter, the points. The points can be nothing but student's dict each, right? For simplify this, if this is a little bit complicated, you can do like this: points equals student each, and then you can do here points. Or like this. Points that each, and then grading, I want to send points. So points, send the points. See what happens. Oh, because I already had here. So I need to hold this. Here's what I want to do. Code. I want to take this only the outs. Put it here, because this is confused with the others. So this works as is. Okay. And I want to have this guy copy and put here. So I want to start a brand new dictionary. What happens here upstairs, I already update the Sam's value as a list. Therefore, if I redo in continuation of this result, then that we have an error. If we want to restart from the given original dictionary, then it should work like this, right? So Adam, originally we have Adam 79, 88, 92, 82, but it can be updated. Adam 79, which is C+, Sam 88, which is B+, and so on and so forth, having this, right? These two things can be, if you want to do together this, then you can do, as I said earlier, like this. Update each dot student each and that. So this works also. So if you do this, that should work. Either this or that, or even this is one case of an updates, which is by invoking dot update function. The other one could be by assigning a list. For that, what you need to do is student and each directly assigning a list within the list. Then you need to do, I want to use this as is. I want to use points. So I want to do points, and I want to do no grading and point. Okay, so without that, that also should work, right? So there are many ways that you could do. Practice that. So we did invoke, we did this and that. So everything that we did, and homework assignments, I want you to continue to do that. So what I ask you to do? Oh, we already did that here. Yeah, homework 1 is done already. And homework 2, but you have to submit anyway. You have to do it. Homework 2 is this is a given a string. That string needs to be forced to collect two lists. The first list is the list of number. Second one is a list of the word. Okay, and then if that is the list of the number, then I want you to make an average of those numbers in the list. And if that is the word list, then the total characters of the words. So 132, or each of the characters. Okay. So these things should be done in one Python code, not separately. So on Python code, first we have to split based upon the white space, and then we have to see if there is a number or non-number. Okay. So if it is, how do you know if it is number or not number? You can say, you can call the is numeric methods. Is numeric methods. and then make this. All right. This is it for the lecture before your midterm exam. And good luck your midterm exam if you do not join me the Saturday Zoom meetings. Saturday Zoom meeting is not mandatory, of course, but I also record it. So those who cannot make it, you can check out the recordings to make sure that you know everything. Okay? Unless otherwise, I'll see you on Saturday or on Monday evening for your midterm exam. See you later.